Hello, you're welcome to the biology series with Excellence Simplified. And today we're going to be taking a very important topic for your JAM and WAEC. Today we're going to be looking at the circulatory system. The circulatory system. And trust me, you're going to get a lot. Alright, now, when we talk about circulatory system, you agree with me that the lowest level of organization of life is the cell. And group of cells that perform similar function will come together to form what? Tissues. Group of tissues performing similar function will form organs. Group of organs performing similar functions will form system. Now, for us to see circulatory system, it means we have group of organs, group of cells, group of tissues coming together to perform that function of circulating materials around the body. Right? Now, circulatory system is a continuous flow of blood around the body through the heart and the blood vessels. Good. Now, when we talk about circulatory system, we are looking at the flow of blood around the body. Mention one part of your body that blood does not reach. Just think of one part of your body that blood does not reach. When you've gotten the answer, hold it inside your mind now and follow to the end. Now, the circulatory system is a continuous flow of blood around the body through the heart. Now, the heart is referred to as the pumping machine, the pumping device. That is the heart. Then we have blood vessels. Now, there are three main blood vessels. There are three main blood vessels. The three main blood vessels we have are the veins, the arteries, and the capillaries. I'll tell you one question you always see in exam. The veins, the arteries, and the capillaries. Now, remember that the pumping device is the heart, right? Let me use this sign for the heart. The heart. Now, if you spell vein, if you look at the spelling of vein, it ends with what? I-N, right? In. The vein takes blood into the heart. Into the heart. Anytime you hear vein, just know that blood is running into the heart. The vein takes blood into the heart, while the artery out of the heart. The artery takes blood out of the heart. Do you get that? Vein takes blood into the heart, I-N in. Artery takes blood out of the heart. Now, capillaries link the veins with the arteries. Capillaries are smaller blood vessels that link the veins and the arteries together. There's one question they normally bring in JAM here. They normally ask, why is the transport of materials of blood in capillaries slow? If you have been doing JAM past question, you must have seen that question. Why is the transport of blood in capillaries slow? It is actually slow so that it will allow materials from the veins and the arteries to mix well together. We will move on to that. But basically, take note of these three blood vessels: veins, arteries, and capillaries connected to the heart. All right, moving on. We have two major types of circulatory system. We have the open circulatory system and the closed circulatory system. What does it mean? Now, the open circulatory system, in this one, there is no blood vessel. The blood is not flowing inside a tube, inside blood vessel like veins, capillaries, arteries. There's no blood vessel. The blood is just beating the organs. It is just beating the body surface. It's just beating the internal whatever. There's no blood vessel. Just look at it as an ocean flowing. It's not flowing through any pipe. Water is not flowing through any pipe. That's open circulatory system. There's no specialized blood vessels for carrying blood. And this one is majorly found in lower organisms. Lower organisms, no blood vessel. But the closed circulatory system is called closed because we have five. It's called closed because we have pipe, blood vessel. Then in the blood vessels now we have blood flowing through the blood vessel. But here, the blood is just flowing everywhere. There is no blood vessel carrying it. That's the difference between the open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. Is that understood? If you understand that one, click on the subscribe button. All right. Now moving on. The closed circulatory system, remember we said we have blood vessels, right? Good. The closed circulatory system is divided into two. We have two types. We have single circulation. Under the closed circulation now, we have single circulation and double circulation. Now, listen attentively here. Exam questions come from here. Very well. We have single circulation and we have double circulation. In single circulation, a complete circuit, a complete movement of blood the blood passes through the heart just once. But in double circulation, the blood passes through the heart twice. Single means once, double means twice. Single circulation occurs in organisms like fish, even amphibians. But double circulation occurs, that's what we have as human beings. Now, let me open your eyes a little. Don't like talking grammar. Now, the heart has 4 chambers. Look at this very well. The heart has 4 chambers. Let me use this diagram now to represent the 4 chambers of the heart. Now, if you look at it, this is the heart like this. So this is your right and this is the left. So this is the right and this is the left. We have the right atrium. Atrium is also called auricle. And we have the right ventricle. Here we have the left atrium or left auricle, and we have the left ventricle. So the human heart, we have 4 chambered hearts. These are the 4 chambers. Now look at this as we manipulate the 4 chambers. First thing, blood comes into the heart. Deoxygenated blood, that's blood without oxygen, comes into the heart through the inferior and superior vena cava. Sorry, I just cleaned this. Let me do a better one. So I said this is the right atrium, this is the right ventricle, this is the left atrium or auricle, and this is the left ventricle. Now, deoxygenated blood without oxygen, gets into the heart through the inferior and superior vena cava. The vena cava, inferior and superior vena cava, carries deoxygenated blood into the heart. And what part of the heart is it entering? It's entering into the right atrium. So this deoxygenated blood from the inferior and superior vena cava enters the heart through the right atrium. Please be taking note of all these things. Now from the right atrium, the blood is pumped into the right ventricle. But now between the right atrium and the right ventricle, there is something separating the right atrium and the right ventricle, and it is called tricuspid valve. Tricuspid valve. So the deoxygenated blood now, blood without oxygen. Remember, blood without oxygen, that is where it is coming from the inferior and superior vena cava into the right atrium. From the right atrium to the right ventricle. But we said that there is something separating the right atrium from the right ventricle, and we call that what? Tricuspid valve. Now, as that deoxygenated blood passes through these two, it leaves the heart. And it leaves the heart into the lungs. It enters into the lungs. And remember, the blood vessels that is taking blood out of the heart is called what? Artery. Now, since anytime you hear pulmonary, just know it's related to the lungs. Pulmonary artery takes blood from here into the lungs here, so that oxygen can mix with it, oxygenation can take place. So now, as that deoxygenated blood leaves the heart into the lungs, it will release carbon dioxide and take oxygen. So the blood becomes oxygenated. Now, that oxygenated blood now will return into the heart. See now, that same blood is moving out. The second time is passing into the heart now. Remember, we're talking about double circulation. Blood passing through the heart twice. The first time, the oxygenated blood passed from the superior and inferior vena cava to the right atrium, to the right ventricle, out of the heart to the lungs for oxygenation to take place. Now from the lungs, now it will return into the heart, into the left atrium. So the left atrium, from the left atrium to the left ventricle. But now the left ventricle and the left atrium are separated by bicuspid valve. And bicuspid valve is also called, if you don't call it bicuspid valve, you can call it mitral valve. If I were you, I'll be taking note of all these things because you see it in exam. Mitral valve. Now, the next thing you have to note is that as the blood passes on the oxygenated blood now, passes into the heart, what blood vessel is carrying it into the heart? Vein, right? Where is it carrying it from? From the lungs. And I told you, anytime you hear what relates to the lungs? Pulmonary. So the blood vessel carrying the blood from the lungs into the heart is called pulmonary vein. Pulmonary artery carries it out, pulmonary vein carries it into the heart. And it passes from the left atrium to the left ventricle, and the blood is pumped out of the heart through the aorta to different parts of the body. That is how circulation takes place. That is double circulation. Do you understand what I said? So in summary, the oxygenated blood from different parts of the body gets into the heart through the inferior and superior vena cava and is entering the right atrium. From the right atrium to the right ventricle. And the right atrium and the right ventricle are separated by tricuspid valve. Then the blood now leaves the heart through the pulmonary artery into the lungs for oxygenation to take place. After oxygenation has taken place, oxygenated blood now moves back into the heart through the pulmonary vein into the left atrium or left auricle, and from there to the left ventricle. And we say the left auricle and left ventricle are separated by bicuspid valve, also called mitral valve. So from the left ventricle, the blood leaves the heart into circulation to different parts of the body through the aorta. All right, so basically that's what we've explained here. So if you look at the diagram here, this is the left and the right, this is the body, this is the lungs. Now, under double circulation, we still have two things. We have systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation. Systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation. I told you that this first part here, this first half here, the blood comes from different parts of the body, enters the right auricle, the right ventricle, then it enters into the lungs. That type of circulation is called pulmonary circulation. That one that the blood passes through the heart the first time and goes into the lungs, that's pulmonary circulation. Then from the lungs now, oxygenated blood passes through the heart and goes into different parts of the body. That is systemic circulation. So systemic circulation is the second half of the circulation. Pulmonary circulation is the one that the blood goes into the lungs for oxygenation to take place. Then systemic circulation is when it returns and is now circulated, is pumped to different parts of the body. That's systemic circulation. So basically, that is how it takes place. All right, moving on. The double circulation includes, I've mentioned systemic circulation, in which blood is carried from the left ventricle to all body parts except the lungs and back to the right auricle, while the pulmonary circulation, in which the blood is carried from the right ventricle to the lungs through the pulmonary veins. All right, now moving on. The coronary artery, we have different arteries. We have the coronary artery, we have the hepatic portal vein, we have the hepatic vein. Now, there's something I would like you to note. Anytime you hear hepa is talking about the liver. Hepa is talking about the liver. That's why if you hear something like hepatitis, anytime you hear any word ending with itis in biology, itis means inflammation. Then hepa means liver. Hepatitis, inflammation of the liver. Now, when you hear hepatic portal vein, hearing that hepa, you should just know that this vein is in the liver. Now, hepatic portal vein carries the oxygenated blood, that is blood rich in digested food, into the liver. Hepatic vein carries blood from the liver into the inferior vena cava. All right. Moving on. We have the different types. But I'd like you to do something for me here. From what I've explained so far, in a tabular form, state 5 differences between open and closed circulatory system. Now you are dropping it on the JAM 2026 WhatsApp group. If you are not on that group, you are missing a lot because class goes there every day from Monday to Friday. So do this assignment and drop it on the group. If you're not on the group, if you're watching you're entering my channel for the first time, my number is on the screen, but subscribe first before you message me. So click on the subscribe button, subscribe, and message me. My number will be displayed on the screen now. So you can chat me up. I'll add you up to the group. Do this assignment and you send it there. You can always suggest the topics that you want me to treat. Any topic you're having difficulties with, always drop it in the comment section and I will do my due diligence to treat that topic. See you in the next video. My name is Excellent Simplified.